I look like a G.I. Joe action figure, so.
Yeah, you know his head blew the fuck up. Blew the fuck up.
And my man said, he was like, I got that kung fu grip though. I got that kung fu grip.
That's that motivation though, bro. That's all that is. That's motivation right there.
Yeah,
but all right.
My man said the kung fu grip with the G.I. Joe.
Stupid.
I report.
Let's go ahead and get to it, y'all. Let's go ahead and get to it. Welcome, subscribers, fans, old, new, everyone that's coming back, everyone that's new to all of this. This is the Media Marauders, as you can see from me, Maximo, my boy Thomas, aka Mr. Rana, aka Editor-in-Chief, Mr. King, aka Glasses, and James, aka Mr. Diesel, aka Mr. G.I. Joe Slim. We're back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome, everyone. And thank us for coming back.
Yes, thank us for being here.
That's right.
Yeah, you know, we have lives too. First of all, selfish, but now we're back. And last week we spoke a little bit on, you know, more cyberpunk. And let me get this out the way. This is definitely not a cyberpunk or transformer or any of that kind of platform.
Wait till April 10th. There's always going to be talking about cyberpunk.
This isn't a Lovecraft Country episode platform. We're trying to come back with all media, with everything. And even though today is kind of centering around one particular form of media, which is anime, manga, and just that branch, we still want to try to branch out. I don't want the new ones and the old to think that, oh, we were only focusing on one. Not that there's any comments to let us know, but
our two fans, let us know.
and the one commenter that I haven't responded back yet, I apologize, by the way, if you're watching.
Shame.
We are back, and yes, today we have a bit of a new discussion, but we wanted to kind of get into. We feel like we've been neglecting anime a bit, and other forms of TV shows and live action or just animated. And we felt today would be nice to talk about new anime that's for the season, fall season, and future anime for the winter. And just kind of get an idea where the spectrum of anime and where they're going with it this year and the beginning of the new year. And I guess, Mr. Thomas, since you brought up the topic over in the chat, you could go ahead and start us off. For the fall season, what have you been really focusing on?
Well, first off, I've been, watching that Dragon Quest Die, of the Adventure of Die. Yo, it's really good. Even though it's an old remake of an older like 90s or 80s anime, but then it's also, a spin-off of the game Dragon Quest. Mm-hmm. It's really good. It reminds me too of Dragon Ball, like Dragon Ball Z with the battles, with some actually like good storytelling.
That's not a bad jam.
Dragon Ball is a classic, bro. Dragon Ball's classic.
Like Dragon Ball's
a classic, but Dragon Ball went so long that Akira Toriyama forgot things about his own story. So
that's true.
So it's like a good condensed. This is gonna be a good quick story. Then there's also
No, going back to that before you say it, I was thinking about watching it, but I thought it had been multiple seasons of it already. So it was really just a remake of it.
Yeah, it's one of the many remakes that are dropping like recently. Because I've been just like Sorcerer Stabber Orphan, which I remember that from back early 90s.
Ooh,
that dropped during the summer also. So
Sorcerer Stabber Dragon? That what you said?
Sorcerer Stabber Orphan.
Orphan.
Yeah. It's just usually it's called Orphan, but
yeah.
But then there was a
As I look off camera.
Hey, I remember the game for PlayStation 1. And I remember the anime from back then. That's what I was like, yo, that's like 97 or so.
Jesus Christ, what? 97?
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ, I'm not that old.
Quick question though. Can you give us a quick synopsis about this Dragon Quest, if it's related at all to the games?
it's the none of the games are really none of the games are really like connected. There's things that are connected, like the Dark Evil Dark King. It's kind of like the rival. It was the rival to Final Fantasy when it dropped. So you didn't have to play like Dragon Quest 1 to play Dragon Quest 6. You could just jump into it. But it's always the same thing. But the warrior showing up to, get rid of the darkness. And pretty much is the same thing in the anime, but it's like died. So far, he's learning to become the hero. And some stuff just popped off. So I was like, oh, so y'all went there already. All right. Y'all, they're not taking their time with it, which I'm liking. And then there's speaking of that one, since that's another throwback, they're also bringing back Spriggan, which was another like anime from back when I was in high school. Maybe they're remaking that one, but they're actually doing the whole story this time.
Say that name again.
Spriggan.
As in Spriggan the Deutsch.
Kind of. Yeah.
I guess.
It's a.
What's that one about?
All right, see the movie that released it over here in the States, because there was a long manga run, but the movie was just about like, it looks like it's about a dude who's like a combat military dude, kind of like Snake, but then it comes to find out there's like vampires, werewolves and stuff like that. So I'm like, I never figured out the whole story because they never really released the whole story over here. So now they're doing the remake. They're actually going to tell the story from beginning to end, because the movie that released back then just kind of didn't tell you everything. It was just like, here's a quick little chunk of stuff to watch. And so I'm waiting for that. That drops in January. But I'm also watching I'm Standing on a Million Lives.
Oh, I've seen that. I've been considering that. How was that?
I haven't seen that one either.
It's funny. It's funny. I laugh. Things happen. It's one of those what are they called? Like Sword Art Online and stuff like that, where you get transferred to another world type thing.
It's a lot of ones like that.
Sword Art Online is where it's kind of.
No, you're talking about the genre, the type of genre it is.
It's kind of like Overlord.
Isekai. It's Isekai.
Yeah, it's Isekai, and it was like
Isekai.
I gave it a chance, and it got me by like the third episode. Well, not even by the third episode, like by the second episode when he realized, like, all right, first thing, like they get transferred to another world. You usually become like a swordsman or something like that. They made him into a farmer, and I was like, you know what? I'm in. I'm like, everyone else on your team has weapons, and you have a hoe. That's it. Yeah, that's funny.
Oh, I think I heard about this one. Yeah, I think I heard about this one.
Yeah. So that was pretty, like, those are like Dragon Quest and that are the ones I've been watching. Spring is one I want to see when it comes out. Skate Infinity is another one I want to check out because they're doing a action skateboarding one.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Someone said, "Oh."
Log Horizon season 3 is coming out, so I'm ready for that when that drops.
You said which one?
Log Horizon season 3.
I don't know if I watched that one. What's that
It's
one
another
about?
Isekai. It's about like it's like Sword Art Online meets. Hey, we're actually just going to make the best out of living in a world. Not like we got to get to the top floor to get released. We're like, oh, we live in this online game now. Guess we got to build a village and start living life in an actual online world that we can't go back to our old world.
That'd be funny if I actually watched that and I just forgot about it. I guess I'm gonna find out.
I think season 2 was like 3 years ago.
So is that a good thing or a bad thing, James?
I watch so much anime. It's just like I watch it and next season.
There's an anime I really liked that I saw. Like I found out it was like on Funimation. I was like, wait a minute, it's still going? All right, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of these new seasons coming, man. Like I had to look through when we decided this topic. I looked through the fall and then for next year's, and so many season 3s and 4s are popping up with shows that I've never heard of.
But some of these shows haven't, like I remember because some of these shows haven't been on air since I was working a whole nother job 8 years ago.
Yeah,
Really?
That's correct.
Yeah, so it's they just take their time to come out.
And the fan base is still there. Interesting enough.
Very much dedicated, very, very dedicated fans.
Well,
I've noticed too that like a lot of seasons usually they come out like next year. A lot of them taking like 2 to 3 years to come out with the next season, and that's a long time for me.
so many animes now because you have like the same production house working on like every anime. Yeah. So after a while, they're like, well, we're gonna put this on the schedule for like 2022 while we work on these other 5 animes. It's like
when it's my turn, I'm definitely talking about a studio that has been progressively getting better and better, in my opinion.
But then my last jump is that which we'll probably get into big, but Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
I didn't think I was gonna watch it at first. And I watched that one episode. I was like, I'm in.
I might have to watch it. I haven't started it yet.
That first episode captures you, and then you're like, I gotta watch it now, because I think a lot of anime don't get the first episode right, and you gotta just continue to watch like the 3rd episode, decide if you want to continue to watch it or not, because it's like such a build.
Put that hand down. We don't want to.
May I real quick talk about this show, please?
I'm done on my end, by the way.
Oh no, we can, because this I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you, James, and I are going to probably say that for the fall, Jujutsu Kaisen is probably destroying the anime game right now. I ain't gonna step on your toes, James. I'm not gonna speak for you, but me personally, I think that's one of the best animes out this season. So
and Fire Force, but yeah.
And Fire Force.
Of course, Fire Force. Of course, Fire Force.
Yeah. I won't step on y'all with that.
I got a couple of other ones that might one up it, but we'll see when I get to the topic. We'll see.
Real quick for the ones that don't know, and we have someone that hasn't watched this, so King, I will go ahead and give you a quick synopsis about what Jujutsu Kaisen is about. In a world where demons feed on unsuspecting humans, fragments of the legendary feared demon Ryumen Sukuna were lost and scattered about. Should any demon consume Sukuna's body parts, the power they gain could destroy the world as we know it. Fortunately, there exists a mysterious school of Jujutsu sorcerers who exist to protect the precarious existence of the living from the undead. I'm not going to go too deep. I'm going to only read that quick paragraph. The main characters in this is Itadori, Yuji Itadori, and you have and he's just a normal kid in high school. He's a first year, and he's part of this paranormal club.
Activity club.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Exactly. So the thing is though, he's not a member, but he's a part. Like he associates himself with.
So he's a member.
He tried to be a member. Remember, the coach took him off that.
Oh, he was a member. The coach did him dirty.
Yeah, exactly. So the thing is that's interesting about Itadori is that he's really abnormally strong. So already you know something's up with this kid. But he treats it like anything else, and nobody really harps on it. Like they just are awed by him being so athletically, savvy in everything he does. So really, just kind of fast forwarding it, it's a typical shonen in certain parts. I will say that even though I really love this show, there are things I find that are not original, really, in my opinion. But the way it's executed is what makes it good. They have these curses that people make up these curses, like you say, like let's say you believe in Bloody Mary. If so many people start believing in Bloody Mary, people will they will actually make this monster or myth be real. It will exist in the real world.
Okay.
So these curses can end up being these monsters, and they can affect the real world and actually potentially kill people. There's different levels of curses. The curse that Itadori and his friends find in the Supernatural Club is one of the Sukuna that I read from the synopsis. It's this demon named Sukuna, and he has 4 arms, and so he has 2 arms. So he has 4 arms, my bad. And I think he has 40 fingers then? No.
I don't went that far into the story yet.
I forgot, but he has his fingers hold mainly his powers, right? And so if you consume these fingers, or any demon or any curse was consume these fingers, they'll make them more powerful. So it kind of just leads into the same shonen trope where the main character is special. He's special. There's something about him that makes him different. He's able to consume these fingers and still be himself, still contain himself, and not be possessed by the original Sukuna. And it's really good. The thing that makes it so amazing, Mappa Studios is what does the production for it, and the fight scenes are amazing, man. I'll let y'all go ahead. I've been talking too much.
Now you're good, man. I was listening. You're good.
Yeah, so I'll say a little bit. The fight scenes are really good. Admittedly, I didn't know what to expect in the beginning, but when episode opened up and everything started progressing like slightly slowly, and then all of a sudden it went exponential, and then you had this crazy fight scene, and then you was completely captivated because the fight scene was executed so well, and then you just started wondering what the backstory of the whole show was. And once you continue to watch it, then you get to him going to a new school because he's attained this demon power, and people can't believe that he's able to hold the power within his body as a vessel. And then they end up wanting to use him. And that's just like the very beginning of the show for the first episode. But there's so much more that happens in it that makes you want to continue to watch it. And then the show progressively builds off of that because of the curses and him at the school and him going through his regular daily life with the fact that he's now a vessel.
How many episodes is it so far? Or is it already a whole season?
Four.
There's 5 or 5. 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I probably
it just started. That's the thing. It's like, and the characters so far are pretty good too. Like I'm liking the characters they introduced them. Like I like the bad guy. Like off jump, bad guy was one.
Yeah, bad guy. And he's actually comical. He's actually comical at the same time, which makes a big difference. He's not just like this really mean guy. Like, oh, I'm a demon. I'm going to take over the world. Like he has humor.
He's a good bad guy. He's one of he has charisma.
I'll be the judge of bad guys here.
Bruno, you gonna like him. You gonna like him.
You will like him.
He has
I believe he, like you said,
King understands a good bad guy. He can like him.
What is this again?
I enjoy this bad guy because honestly, and this is gonna be the comparison you're gonna hear a lot going into it, King, and even for the viewers as well, for the ones that are still on the fence. There's a lot of comparisons you can find with Naruto and Bleach. A lot of people have made those comparisons, and I'm not seeing the Bleach aspect too much, but I definitely see the Naruto aspect when it comes to the characters. The thing is though, with these, I can see already the things with the characters that makes them completely different from Naruto is that first of all, Itadori doesn't come off like a brat and loudmouth all the damn time.
He's older.
Megumi, the boy that's supposed to be Sasuke, he's very like introverted, but he doesn't do the whole edgy, get out my face, I hate everyone.
Care about anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, it shows he has a fucking heart. And the girl, damn, I forgot the girl's name, man. Give me a second, y'all. Her name is Kugisaki Nobara, and I love her character because she's not the damsel in distress. She's not a Sakura. Like she's completely
so far away from Sakura is ridiculous.
Her power, and you want to find out so much about these characters individually. And the baddest motherfucker, I'm talking about the Kakashi in this is
No, he above Kakashi, bro.
Yeah, he is. He's 10 times there. Satoru Gojo Satoru. This I am reading the manga, but I stopped reading the manga for a long time, and I can tell you the shit that he can do is just like you too OP, mother. Like, who are you? Like, what are you?
Good
like,
teacher. That's who he is.
Yeah, he's a very good, but he does sort of he's kind of like the Kakashi where when Kakashi wasn't very serious in the beginning, he was like a joke sort of. Yeah. Like he holds himself in a very devil may care type of attitude.
What?
I still think he cares. I still think he actually cares, though.
Yeah, of course. Like it's kind of like a joke. Like he doesn't take a lot of things seriously in the moment. You know what I mean?
He got that strength. When
that's what I'm saying. He's so OP. He's like, oh, you can come over here if you want to. I'm about to wipe you out.
You can't play this to like go. It's like the thing is, so far the comedy hits when it needs to hit. Like it's a good balance.
Yes,
and,
it is.
I do see people. I saw people on Twitter kind of mentioning. When they mentioned it, the whole like Bleach or Naruto thing, I'm like, well, they are the first character to have another character living inside them. Like,
right?
Yu had it. Nora, like something like 1000.
Kurama from Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah, I'm like, there's a lot of characters. It's an anime trope. It's
the anime. Yeah.
It's
like the best thing about tropes though they're not original, you could build so much from it. The creator, I'm gonna find her name. I think it's a female as well, which shouldn't be a surprise. But you don't hear a lot of mangakas doing shonen that are female. But she was a big Naruto fan, and you can kind of see it. Her inspiration for Naruto built like within the characters and somewhat of the world as well. I don't know. I find it really fun to watch, man. I was disappointed in the manga in the beginning. Not disappointed, but it felt kind of short. The action wasn't as good. Of course, you know, when translating motion action in manga and on TV could be a challenge in itself. I'm sure. I'm not an artist, but I can only imagine.
So anime is better than manga. I got it. Cool.
Yeah, you finally admitted to it.
Yeah, I'm not saying
I had
that.
to take the jab. I had to.
When it comes to certain genres and when it's being depicted on paper or on TV, it's gonna be hard to do. And I will admit that. I think anime does a better job with certain fight sequences than a manga can achieve. And I will agree on that. But I think the cinematography that anime has done and the studio has done to translate it from manga is exquisite. Like they've done an incredible job. Every fight sequence I've seen so far has been like I shut off. I gotta just watch. Like I'm just brain turned off for a second. Like God damn, this is beautiful.
Okay.
But it's an amazing show, man. We haven't sold you yet. You might don't even bother watching it. But it's good.
Oh yeah, I also want to take another jab. It's better than God of High School. I think they rushed that. So put that out there. I think they can do a better job with God of High School.
Would it be a hot take though? I mean, we might agree here.
You know what? When the creator tried to like say, yeah, you know, I have no problem with how fast it goes. Like, something don't sound right here. Something don't sound right. It was like, God of High School. They skipped way too many interesting parts.
Yeah, I'm still looking for the Gige Akutami. Gigi Akutami. That's the creator. That's the writer and the author of
Juju.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Gigi, I think this is her first work ever, and I'm pretty sure she was female. I remember reading an article that she's a female. So I think this is her first body of work that's been publicized. So yo, keep coming with more, girl. Shit, or whomever. But
assuming their gender.
I don't want to assume gender. You're right, correct. And that's not even a joke. I'm not trying to be sarcastic. Please don't blame us. We need more subscribers. Please stop.
Don't get us canceled already.
Heavy already. No, but James, you got anything else, or you're good with Jujutsu Kaisen? Because I want to kind of get into the winter season soon.
Okay, so one I have is How Not to Pick Up a Girl in a Dungeon. Is that the correct name?
Yeah, I've been thinking about checking that out.
I think it is. I heard that, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so this one, essentially, it's 3 seasons in. Yes, I believe it's 3 seasons in. Is it?
No, yeah. Is it wrong to try to pick up a girl? Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon?
Okay, so wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon. Okay.
There was
I couldn't remember. I know it was a long name.
Yeah,
I was trying to
have a sentence for a name.
It's based off a light novel. Most light novels, they do that long ass title shit.
I mean, I have a list in front of me and I'm seeing a few.
Yeah.
Well, this one, there's a guy, I'm pretty sure he was transferred from another world, and there's gods in his world, and they end up being like the masters of different houses, and they have cults that follow them that hunt monsters. And they go into a dungeon, and there's different levels of a dungeon. And I know everybody knows about different levels in a dungeon. And essentially they go in, monsters get harder and harder in each level, and you got different guilds. They're called guilds. I'm sorry, they're called guilds. And they have different guilds and everything like that. And essentially he's part of one. He's under Hestia. Is her name Hestia?
Yeah, you're right.
And of course, like he's really a person that could be a friend with basically anybody. Everybody's trying to get after him, and the gods are looking at him to be a special person that can essentially bridge a gap between, I guess, gods, monsters, and the humans or characters of the world themselves that live above ground versus the monsters in a dungeon that they usually go out and hunt. And so this next season is bringing more into bridging that gap, and he actually meets some monsters, and some of them can actually talk. And then from there, the story just grows, how like some people are hunting them and everybody's trying to figure out what the deal is. And there's so many people are up in arms because they're always used to hunting monsters because they always kill everybody. There's always been a battle between the two, but he's supposed to be the person that can possibly bridge that gap. And they're testing him. They've always been testing him every single season to see what he can do next. Is he actually the special person? Then the season just kind of just goes from there. And so I'm interested to see how it continues to build, and if he's actually able to accomplish this. But of course, you know, since he's a special character, he's the main character of the show, I have to expect that he will, but he might not.
Might die.
Yeah, let me push it up a little
He
bit.
could.
Yeah,
He could. Like,
die.
that'd be a serious twist. He could.
Like a new main character in on him.
Pokemon style, right?
Yeah, right. All right. So, okay. So it's called how not to, or is it wrong
to try to pick up girls in a dungeon?
Dungeon, right?
So what about it stands out from everything else this season so far? Is it the characters?
I think it's just a storyline. Honestly, I end up liking a lot of animes that have a dungeon and they have like a character that leads. Like, let's go for instance, what was the Tower of God that had a? Then they have like a dungeon or something too, and they have like a special boy, and then they follow this character, and like he's supposed to be special and what he can do from there, and then they just kind of build from there. Like, you know, they add different people have different powers, and they introduce different gods, and then they introduce different monsters. Now monsters can talk, and you know, different levels. It's so much they can actually do with the show. I haven't read anything about it, so I'm only watching the anime, so I don't want to dive too deep into it and be wrong about it.
Just to verify, you like towers, not dungeons. You like towers or dungeons?
I like it's both, man. I've watched so many, it's both. It's towers and dungeons. It's towers and dungeons.
I remember one time watching like Goblin Slayer. God damn it! No, but I remember watching the
anime.
Yeah, that shit. It was good. That was a good anime. As far as I saw, anyways. But this one in particular, I remember watching like the first episode, I want to say, and I was like, "Is there going to be fight scenes?" It seems like it's really focused. Like at least the first episode, it seemed like it was going to be really focusing on him with this girl that saved him. And he kind of just falls in love with her and he wants to join her. Yeah. And so I'm thinking, is there any real fight scenes in here? Or
definitely fight scenes. A lot of fight scenes between the characters and the monsters, and it builds a lot with the different characters and what they're into and their backgrounds. I like that too. So it's focused on him or centered around him, but it also focuses on the characters that he interacts with too. So it's not just like solely about him. Like, it actually builds up characters to me.
Is it not a harem anime?
Oh God, no! Please. Please, God, James, don't say it. Don't tell me it's a harem.
Give me the true definition of a harem without.
It's a harem anime.
No, wait, give me the true definition of a harem. He's not just saving a girl, but I guess he does save people.
Are a lot of females chasing after him?
Yeah.
Huh? Are a lot of females trying to get with him?
A lot of guys in general, male and female, but it's a lot of females, male and female. Like, males and females are attracted to him. I'm serious. All
right, cool.
Hey, as long as it's on his sexuality, that's what matters most.
Hey,
mostly females, but there definitely are male guys trying to use him and follow him and see how he progresses throughout the world.
Because there's something about him that might be special.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds interesting. All right.
And I want to mention another, and I'm looking for. I don't know what date it drops, but I'm looking for, I believe it will be the last season of Attack on Titan.
7.
So I've been reading the manga, and of course I watched the first 3 seasons. The first season started off with a bang with like all the Titans fighting each other. The second season was pretty good too. And the third season was given some of the backstory of how everything started, but not all the backstory. And it's following the manga pretty well from what I can remember. And some people were griping about the third season because they thought it was too much talking and stuff like that and not enough action. But it really gives you a backstory, like how the Titans came to be, or like some of the different houses and stuff like that. So now the final, I believe will be the final season supposed to be coming up. That's going to show like the ending of the manga itself. And it's supposed to be so much action and fighting in there. So I believe it's going to be even better than the first season. And I want to see what these Titans could do. Cause you know, Aaron's the main character. That can turn into a Titan. You said what?
Try not to spoil nothing.
I'm not spoiling anything. Aaron's the main character to turn to a Titan. And then he has a sister, Misaka. I believe I said her name correctly.
Kill the whole village.
Mikasa.
No.
Mikasa or Mikasa?
Is it Mikasa?
Tsukasa?
Misaka. I thought it was Misaka, but I can't remember. I haven't watched the third season in a while.
I haven't watched it. Misako?
Is it?
Not mythical.
I think it's Misaki. I think it is Misaki, but I could be wrong.
But either way, the final season is coming up, and you find out like how they actually obtain the power and everything like that. And I'm really wondering how they're going to close it off and how much they're really going to finish the way the manga has or is progressing to finish.
I don't think this is a spoiler from the trailers because I haven't watched season 2. But or did I not watch season 3? Is it season 4 or season 3?
Season 4 is about to happen.
Okay, so I didn't watch season 3 and I stopped somewhere in the middle of season 2. And from the trailers,
I hope I'm not wrong. If it's supposed to be season 3, then I feel like I must be combining 2 together.
I stopped at some point,
right? Yeah.
But they're doing a time skip for the final season.
Are they?
That's what the trailer looked like.
I'd imagine. No,
I don't know because they were basically they were fighting a lot. I don't know if they're doing a time skip.
It's a prequel, not prequel, prelogue, whatever. They go back.
Oh yeah, so they might be showing the history of how everything started. And that's how the manga does it too. So it goes back in the past, gives you an actual history.
Prelogue. There you go. That's what I'm thinking of. Prelogue.
Yeah,
it's a prequel.
So it's actually racism and everything in there. So yeah.
I finished it. I don't know. Sometimes I got lost in this one of the seasons. It just kind of it threw me off. Liked it and I like it, but I gotta catch back up with it.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, it sounds. I mean, I haven't been the biggest Attack on Titan fan, but I'm glad you guys are looking forward to it. That's as much as I can say. But all right, that's good. So, King, what you got for us? Let's go ahead.
Oh well, I'm not going to talk about any of the animes that's been on as of recently, but for the 3 fans that's been watching us religiously, you'll understand that I watch a lot of movies and shows. And as of recently, I actually got done with Elementary. Yep. They said it couldn't be done in 2 weeks, but guess who did it? This guy.
Hey, we have faith in you. Some of us, maybe not.
Thank you.
No one did. My bad. Go ahead.
Thank you. So, this is not necessarily a Sherlock Holmes fan, but I love detective type shows and animes and cartoons and whatnot. And this rendition of Sherlock Holmes, which is called Elementary, actually has the original Sherlock Holmes. Well, I shouldn't say the original, but Sherlock Holmes. And the twist in this one is the fact that Lucy Liu is playing as Joan Watson, not John Watson. So it's a gender swap in this case.
Yeah.
Actually, and an ethnicity swap as well. And in this case, she's Asian, Asian, and not Britain or not London English, should I say, in this case. But I think this version of Sherlock is more contemporary, more up to date, and gives you a better sense of what a current or up to date Sherlock Holmes would be like. And what I liked about this version of who is playing Sherlock Holmes is actually Johnny Lee Miller. I learned a tidbit about him. I didn't know was that he's actually married to Angelina Jolie at one point in time. I was like,
yes, this was crazy, and Angelina Jolie, by the way.
Crazy or misunderstood?
Misunderstood. My bad. I apologize. Very misunderstood, Angelina Jolie.
So yeah, I learned that in the process of just reading up on it. But interesting enough, Sherlock Holmes, it's a different version of Sherlock Holmes because it's contemporary once again, but he mainly focuses in New York City. And they show homage to the old school Sherlock Holmes because he actually transferred from London back and forth to New York City. But he has a drug addiction as well, which is actually interesting enough because Sherlock Holmes did different types of drugs actually in the books.
Opioids.
Under renditions of other movies as well, with the exception of Ilona Holmes. We didn't learn much about that whack ass Sherlock. But anyway, this one. Yeah, I didn't like that version.
I haven't watched it yet.
Anyway.
Me neither.
Yeah, but Johnny Lee Miller actually brought out more of a weirdness out of Sherlock Holmes. But put in comparison to if I were to compare him to Cumberbatch and also Robert Downey Jr., I think he actually had more time to portray it. And so even though you do see a lot of that within Robert Downey Jr. within the hour and a half, 2 hours he had to show you what kind of weird person he was, you get to see the actual weirdness and quirkiness of him. So you see different episodes of him trying out different things, such as fencing. He's a not honeybee, sorry, bee collector apparently too. Well, once again, a drug addict, which he's trying to get over. And coincidentally, Joan Watson in this case ends up being his, I want to say therapist in a way, but not.
Yeah, it's sort of like a pen pal, but in person.
Yeah, So I can't think of the exact word for it that she used in the
companion. It's a certain kind of companion.
Yeah, certain kind of companion, and the only reason he has her as a companion is because Moreland Holmes, his father, actually pays her to watch over him in a certain type of way, which is a disrespectful notion for Sherlock Holmes because he feels like he doesn't need somebody to watch over him, but his father, being a powerful person he is, makes him have a person to watch over him. And so in turn, Joan Watson used to be a doctor. She gave up being a doctor to become this, I guess, position that she just happened to get created before her in this case. And she learns how to be a detective throughout the season. And she learns Sherlock how to be a detective as well. And so because of Sherlock Holmes' weirdness and quirkiness, she doesn't understand him in the beginning, but the only thing she's there for is to make sure he doesn't relapse once again on doing drugs. And so what I liked about the relationship though is the way it grows. They're not honest with each other all the time. They're not trying to be partners. They just understand it's either I'm here to help you, but I'm not here to help you in what you're doing in the detective aspect of things. And so when the season expounds and develops, you see the relationship between them becoming as best friends actually, and him actually showing love for her in a way you wouldn't expect someone to show that type of love to a partner, but a professional
platonic, more platonic,
right. More platonic one. And what I liked about this version of Sherlock Holmes though was a twist that your wife Max that explained to me, but I got mad about it, but I found out the twist to it though.
Yeah.
Irene Adler, and this is one of my favorite ones. Irene Adler in this show ends up being Moriarty.
Yeah.
And I loved that twist of it because you don't see it coming.
Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Right.
I'll watch it eventually. I'm just gonna like erase that.
I was thinking, I was like, I'm gonna watch this, and then he said that. I was like,
oh. You knew it was gonna happen. As soon as it happened, I tell you, I'm watching it. I'm letting you know. But it's really, like I say, it's really good though. But don't let that deter you from watching it though, because of the fact that my gripe with this is the fact that they use her too quickly as to push the narrative. But like I said, she was honestly the ace of spades in the ace in the hand, but they use her so quick. It was like, well, damn, what else I gotta look up to now? I gotta look forward to. But yeah, I'll stop for a minute because you're gonna start another one.
We'll be right back. And we're back.
All right. That's true. We gotta do that.
But like I said, yeah, right. What I like about it, and I'm sorry I ruined it for y'all guys, but there's so much more to it than just Moriarty though. But like I said, the gripe I had about it was the fact that Moriarty is supposed to be his biggest nemesis, and they use her so quickly, or use him, quote unquote. But that's another gender swap though, once again with Moriarty and being Irene Adler. So that was honestly the ace in the hole they had, but they used her so quickly, you lose the compassion for it. It was like, well, hell, I was looking forward to him or her, and they use them really quickly. But they catch themselves in a better spot because of the fact they keep Moriarty as a bigger henchman throughout the seasons. But then one of my favorite characters in it is also the guy named John Noble. You ever seen him before? He plays as Morland. He plays as Sherlock Holmes' father, Morland Holmes.
Oh yeah,
Morland Holmes plays a very good. I'm not going to say uncaring because he shows love in his own type of way, but he's that father figure that tells Sherlock what to do correctly, and when he messes up, he still covers for him when he shouldn't. And so the relationship and dynamic you see between him and his father, and what he doesn't know he learns from his father as well, is what makes that relationship so special. And I liked Morland Holmes all throughout the series because they didn't use him so many times, but only when there was a specific season he needed to be there. But otherwise than that, you only heard his name so many times and what kind of power he holds, not in just America, but in London. Well, I'm sorry, not in just London, but America as well. And so it's very interesting the aspect that he holds within the show, which I really liked about that. But the show altogether, though, works on developing the characters around them as well, which I really liked about Captain Gregson, You see, he has a moral complex sometime in the season, which I'm not going to expound on. But one of my favorite characters also is Detective Marcus Bell. He's an African American detective in the show, and he's one of them guys that's straight and narrow, but at the same time, he doesn't want to take. He wants to get to where he wants to go on his own merit. He doesn't want to help from everybody else as well, but he's willing to help when need be also. And so he develops gracefully through the show and series as well, except his haircut. His haircut was horrendous.
The shape of that head.
As the season progressed, you're gonna be like, wow, they actually let him wear that fucking wig in that whole fucking show.
I know which season you're talking about too.
You know what I'm talking about? No.
Wow.
And I'm sorry, I'm not gonna call it a wig because it probably was his hair. But Jesus Christ, Marcus, you could have done so much better with that hair. I'm sorry, I just gotta put it on there.
Oh shit.
But once again, if I were to rate that show though, I would honestly give it an A. Because I thought it was really good. There's a lot of twists and turns in it, and they're really good at they're really good at paying homage to the book and what everybody would want, but then respectfully having him within the times of 2012, 2019, which is very interesting in that aspect too. So really good show. If you haven't watched it, I recommend it.
So how many Sherlock shows, like out of all the Sherlock shows you watch, is this the best one?
I'm going to say I don't think it's the best one. If I were to be honest, I really did like the Cumberbatch version of him because I felt as though Cumberbatch gave a more. He was an asshole. Cumberbatch was an asshole personality-wise, or not. I'm gonna say personality-wise. He was more of an asshole unknowingly, and sometimes even knowingly. Sherlock in this version, he knows he's an asshole, but he doesn't do anything to change it until Watson confronts him about it. Cumberbatch showed a more personal aspect of it to where he would say something and people would be like, well, that was fucking rude. And he'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Because it's not necessarily illness, but
he's just too smart.
Right. He's too smart. And the thing I like but also I give credit to John Miller's version of Sherlock is because he actually goes to get help. And there's a certain season where he's getting help and going to these anonymous meetings that he does to keep his sobriety, where he actually confronts his demons in front of everybody, and the show producer actually uses it against him in a certain type of way. But you have to watch the series to see it. But like I said, but to answer your question, I think the Cumberbatch version was better because he never confronted his demons of him being an asshole because he knew he was one. But at the same time, it was just a mental aspect in him where he was just like, you like it or you don't. That's it.
I like that. Yeah.
And one last thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's an anime coming out about Moriarty this season.
Shit.
Moriarty the Patriot.
Wait. Come again, Mr. Random. What'd you say? Moriarty season coming out?
This season there's Moriarty the Patriot is coming out. It's based off of Moriarty.
Good.
I have to check that out.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
They better not make him a fucking anti-hero. Better not.
I mean, the whole point of Moriarty is the antithesis of Sherlock. He's just supposed to be the opposite of Sherlock. So what Moriarty did was just use people for his better gain. So like, I guess in his own way, it could be seen as good depending on what the perspective they could change it to an anti-hero. You see some.
I just use you for my own game, so I'm a good guy.
I mean, depending on what that gain is for, you know what I mean?
I think the Moriarty I liked. It's gonna sound funny. The Moriarty I liked was the Moriarty in the Robert Downey Jr. version of the first one, Sherlock Holmes. The first one, not the second one. I like the first one because I don't know who played him, but I thought his voice was perfect for Moriarty because he was always in the shadows. You never saw him. You just knew where he needed to be, and he played Sherlock and also Irene Adler to an aspect. But the part two version of the Game of Shadows, I felt like the one that played Moriarty didn't give me that same threat. His voice didn't give me a threat to me. I was just like, oh, he's just a fat, pudgy man with a lot of money. And he's a teacher. Yeah, that shit sucked.
This is
that is kind of true.
Like vying off topic after hearing you talk about Sherlock. So it's like Batman's pretty much just Sherlock, Batman and Joker, Sherlock and Moriarty. Like it's you know we were just talking about earlier with
I'm not
Jujutsu
going to agree to
Kaisen,
that.
but
I'm not going to agree to that.
I can't do that. I can't
think about it.
do
We were
that.
just talking about how things take reference from. I bet if we go far enough back and look into it, there was some like they used some Sherlock to come up with Batman.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, and that you look at that, it's just his detective skills. I don't see his detective skills. He pays attention to a lot of the unseen details that people don't see.
And Joker,
Batman just has a lot of technology at his hands at the current moment. So.
And Joker's like Moriarty, he's also using what he has at hand to get what he wants.
I see Joker as a clever villain. I don't see him as a genius level villain, like how Moriarty is supposed to be depicted as.
Joker's up there, genius
Joker
level.
Use a lot of people.
He's manipulative. Anyone, I think.
But I feel like he has a level of genius to do that though. He comes up with some really crazy ideas.
No, man, that's a debate right there.
We'll get back to that. We'll table.
Yeah,
that.
we'll come back to that. All right. Yeah, we'll stop right there with. But yeah, King, you good? You got anything else? I mean, that was pretty good, man.
No, like I said, I'm good on it. Like I said, I give it an A. If no one's seen it before, I recommend it. To be honest with you, if you got 16 hours a day to ruin and to get through the whole thing, but it didn't take me that long. So I finished it in 2 weeks.
All right.
I'm just that man.
Anyways,
I do have one honorable mention though. And that's the Mandalorian season 2 that just dropped.
Oh,
I watched that too.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I had to mention that the first episode was okay, but I think it's going to lead into a lot of better episodes. But I'm not trying to set my bar too high as far as the expectations. It started with a nice little fight scene to get you a little bit excited about it. Yeah. Then it went to the Mandalorian way. But I was missing "This is the way." Like I wanted to hear him say it. This is the way. But otherwise than that, it was a chill episode. So I'm hoping to see a lot more for the next coming episodes and how they take this season.
Okay.
I haven't finished the first season.
I think I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for it all to get finished and then go back and watch it. That's probably what I'm doing.
What I'm hearing reminds me of an old Japanese movie or anime about a guy who walked around with a child, samurai, and had to get the child from point A.
Isn't that the stranger with the sword? Isn't that?
I think so. That's what it started. Like the more I listen to people talk about it, then I'm starting to think about more and more. Like, is that what this is? Just like, there's so many stories you can tell. And
that was a great fucking movie.
That's a nice comparison.
It's like I was like Baby Yoda, he has good Baby Yoda from point A. I thought season 2 was gonna be like something else, but then I haven't watched season 1, so.
Sword of the Stranger.
Yeah,
that was a great fucking movie, man.
Like I want to watch it, but then I also don't want to pay for Disney Plus.
Now I shoot Verizon, baby. Got it for
Verizon, exactly.
Yo, mine expires on the 13th, but it's only $7 with Verizon, so I'm gonna just keep it on there. They actually charge you a bill for it. The Verizon bill.
Yeah, the Mandalorian seems interesting. A lot of people, there's a lot of Star Wars fans out there, and I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan or a Star Wars fan at all, but the Mandalorian looked interesting. So,
don't you got a Yoda tattoo on your back?
I know, right? He just needs.
That's something we don't need to talk about that.
That one time space camp.
I wanted to do a quick honorable mention. I know we've been running long, and I apologize, Editor-in-Chief, but I wanted to talk about one more anime that's coming out into the winter season, the beginning of next year, and it's called Kumo Desu ga Nanika, which is I forgot what the English translation is, but I think it's When I Turn Into a Spider.
I heard about that. I think that's what it's called in English.
Yeah,
When I Turn Into a Spider.
When I Turn Into a Spider, and it's isekai, which is everyone loves isekais now. We've been around for like 6 years now. Everyone fucking enjoys it. It's about the world where they.
Longer than that.
Yeah, it has been. No, honestly, I think the first isekai is one of the first popular isekais. I think is Inuyasha, or I think one of the first.
That is one of them. That is, but
yeah, probably before then. Probably even.
Love Naraku.
But anyways, this anime is coming out in the first quarter of winter, and it's called, well, what it's about is the world where the hero and the demon king continue to oppose each other. The grand magic from the hero and the demon king cross over worlds and explode in the classroom of a certain high school. Already sounds like some bullshit, but let me keep going. The students who died in the explosion will be reincarnated in a different world. The protagonist, who has the lowest reputation in the class, was reincarnated into a spider. Nevertheless, she adapted quickly to the present condition with strong willpower. This is a story of she who has become a spider, trying whatever she can to live. And the reason why I want to do a quick honorable mention on this is because I saw the
okay.
Yeah, let me get there. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is because it seemed interesting, because a lot of isekais, like the slime, the rise of the hero, the real popular ones, it's showing these characters starting as nothing and progressively getting better with time, which is usually we want to see the underdog win. You know what I mean? Essentially, that's what it is. This girl stays as a spider throughout. Like I saw the manga for this, and I was planning on reading it, but now that I know an anime is coming out, I'm honest, we'll just watch the anime. And it's literally, you're just seeing, I think I remember seeing panels of it, and you see this girl fighting other like insects or animals, and she like, I'm assuming since it's an isekai, there's gonna be magic involved. So every time she kills something, she might get it powerful. Anyway, sorry, Thomas, go ahead.
So do you not like reading?
That was off camera, y'all. For the viewers, that's off camera joke. He brought it back. That's in the comedy world. That's a callback. Good one, Thomas.
In the comedy world, that's called a callback. You're right.
That's a callback, ladies and gents. You had to be a part of it, though. But anyways, no, I enjoy very much to read, but I figured, hey, why not? But this seems like a really interesting anime take. Is a different type of take on all this isekai shit.
But it sounds like the slime one. Doesn't like the slime.
That's what it does.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I think from what I saw, I don't know how long she stays as a spider, or if she's indefinitely a spider, or maybe she grows like and she's like a spider girl at some point. I don't know, but it seemed interesting, and I figured share that with the world. Why not?
Well, we get to see her spin some web, huh?
Yeah. Okay.
That sounded real dirty there.
I wasn't ready for it.
He's just going in like, look at that web.
Anyways, focus, fellas, you pervs. Thomas, do you have anything for us? Any honorables?
I had it, it went away again.
Damn. Yeah. All right, well, it's all good, man. All right, on that note, we'll end it right there, fellas.
Someone asked me if I got honorable mention. I didn't get asked about honorable mention.
Oh, I thought, okay, you good, my bad, go ahead.
He ain't got nothing.
Shut your mouth over there, G.I. Joe.
All right. What you got for us, man?
All right. So I decided to go ahead and start Monsterland. And I'm one episode in. It's pretty interesting at the current moment. So I'm just gonna give that by the time we come back, the next episode for my 2 to 3 loyal followers. I'm sorry, our loyal followers. Sorry, my villain is coming out of me. We're gonna talk about Monsterland.
Okay.
I can't wait until we start having a fan base so they can start talking shit about us.
Maybe someone responded back to the comments.
Yo, James, do you hear him? Come on, man. Get that shit. Anyways, going past me trying to pass the blame. Thank you, everyone, once again. You guys, this is Max, Thomas, King, and James. Don't forget us. This is Media Marauders. Oh, also don't forget to ring that bell on the side. And please like and subscribe for all content, all Media Marauders, everything. Check out. You said what? And we promise to comment back if you do comment. We understand this is a society, this is a community, and we want to be invested with everyone that's willing to show love, so we can show love and reciprocate and send it back. So with that, we are done. Media Marauders is another episode 225. I don't know which episode, honestly. But we'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all have a good one. Be safe. And don't forget our Twitter. Check out our Instagram and our Facebook. You will find us as Media Marauders, exactly how you see it on your screen. And we'll see y'all on the next one. Have a safe night.
I might change my name to Glasses. Sounds very villainous.
I kind of might just do Cowboy Bebop because I wear this damn shirt so much. Hey, we have new viewers. They don't know that.
I'm G.I. Joe now, so.
No, we're not doing any of that.
Joe. You're gonna get that wrong.
The more you know.
All right, y'all. Peace out. Y'all take it easy, man. The next time. Bye.